Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Lexi and today we are doing a chit chat get ready with me using the new REM beauty products by Ariana Grande.
Thank you.
We will also be talking about my top 5 reads of 2021. 2021 was an interesting year. I did so much reading. It was my biggest reading year yet. I read a total of 62 books and my goal for the year had been 40.
Everyone's done incredibly this year. I'm like looking around like holy.
But in saying that, I feel like it was also a year of pretty mediocre books. Last year in my reading journal, I did a top 10 of 2020 spread, but when I went to do 2021, I really struggled to find 10 books. So I decided to keep it short and sweet and do my top 5. So if you'd like to see how I came up with this makeup look, what I think about REM beauty, and which books I chose for my 2021 favorites, then keep watching and let's jump straight into the video. Hello guys, so today we will be doing a makeup chit chat get ready with me. I am in no way a makeup artist though. I literally just do my own makeup for fun and videos and things like this. And I haven't done my makeup in quite a while. If you're not aware, at the moment in Sydney, we're having a massive surge in COVID cases. It's like basically 30,000 new cases per day. I'm lucky enough to still be working from home, but that also means I don't really have anywhere to try out my new makeup. Hence, I thought let's do it for a video. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to start with the Marc Jacobs Pore Filling Primer. I also think I want to start from the bottom and work my way up with my reads. So number 1 will be my top read of the year, but let's start with number 5. So for number 5, I'm gonna have to go with House of Hollow. I read this probably in October. I'm gonna use this Rimmel foundation. I don't actually remember if I like this or not. This book just absolutely hooked me from the start. It just completely transported you to the different world. The plot was also pretty unpredictable. The main premise of the book is that we follow these 3 sisters who, when they were children, they went missing. They just like completely vanished. Their parents had them at like a festival or like a fair or something, and they turned their back for like 2 seconds and the children just disappear.
Wow.
Then quite a few years later, the children just miraculously show up. Like, they're back. They're fine. They're completely fine. They're back. They do have a few physical changes. Like, I believe one of them, her hair is completely white. And the town and their parents welcome them back. But I do believe one of the parents, I can't remember if it's the mum or the dad, they just have this feeling that their children are not their children. They have a lot of trouble explaining it because their children are their children, but the parent just feels like something is off. The book basically follows their lives as teenagers. Okay, that foundation said it was True Ivory, and like, this is not True Ivory. It's a bit dark.
Why you always lying?
This was the first book I read from Crystal Sutherland, and it definitely got me more interested in her writing. The next book I want to talk about, so number 4 of my top 5 reads, was The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book was so good. Like, I cannot believe it took me this long to pick it up. I think at this point as well, I can definitely say I am a Taylor Jenkins Reid fan. So I read Evelyn Hugo and then I read Daisy Jones, and I'm in the process of reading Malibu Rising. Her writing style is just so addictive, and the characters, even though they live these like fantastic sort of rich lives, you still feel like you can relate to them.
I got that buddy.
Which is just such a testament to her writing. The plot basically does follow the name. So we meet our main character, Evelyn Hugo, and we learn about her life through the lens of each husband that she has married, and it's just such an amazing story. I can't talk too much about it without giving away spoilers. The other main character that we meet in The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is the journalist who's interviewing her, and I really loved that character too. I just felt like she dealt with so many real topics. Evelyn Hugo is also the sort of book that has a lot of twists and spins that I don't think people necessarily see coming. Like, I definitely didn't see it.
That's my opinion!
I do have a reading vlog where I read Daisy Jones and Evelyn Hugo in the same vlog. I'll leave it linked if you do want to check it out. So that actually brings me to book number 3. So book number 3 is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This was super hard to place the two. Like, I just really loved both stories, but I ended up going with Daisy Jones and the Six as number 3 just because I think it was like slightly more immersive for me. I came away from that book feeling as if I had been on the rock tour with the group. Like, I felt like a complete rock star. And I feel like it was just that slight bit more relatable to me. But I absolutely love both stories. Definitely pick both of them up. So Daisy Jones and the Six basically follows like a band, and we're mainly following the lead singer and then Daisy Jones. So they're both like separate musicians, and then they end up coming together on like a collaboration, and then Daisy joins the band. The two main characters, they have quite a lot of parallels, and their characters definitely clash quite a lot throughout the course of the book. I liked that the book also gave like the other band members their sort of moment to shine as well. Like, they all were given interesting plots, but of course we're mainly rooting for Daisy Jones, and her character was just so cool. I've heard people say that she's sort of influenced by Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac.
Because I don't agree with anything anybody said.
And they're definitely set in the same sort of era. I believe there is a few trigger warnings for this book. Like, they are rock stars. They do sort of dabble in triggering topics.
We had so much money. You don't want to come into Australia with drugs.
So definitely check out like the Goodreads warnings before you jump into it if you are sort of concerned about that. And it is a book I recommend that you check out. It is also super interesting to note that the books are slightly connected. Some of the same characters like pop up in both because they're set in the same time frame. And then there's quite a few that also end up in Malibu Rising. So if you do read them, I would recommend reading them all around the same time. Okay, let's try out this new eyeshadow palette. Okay, so I'm going to start with the third color and do like the crease area. So moving on to book number 2. So my second favorite book of the year, that would have to be Our Chemical Hearts by Crystal Sutherland. So I read this pretty close to reading House of Hollow. Me and my friend Sharon had both read House of Hollow and we really liked it, and she mentioned that she had Our Chemical Heart. So she let me borrow it, which then turned into borrowing it for like 3 months because of the COVID lockdown. It was just such a beautiful story and I related to it a lot. Ooh, the shimmer is really pretty. Each color definitely needs like 2 coats though, I will say that. But that is good if you want like a sheer look, so you can sort of just build it. I think it was the only book that I read this year that actually made me cry. I'm gonna use the darker brown as well. Again, I'm pretty sure this book had a lot of quotes that I really loved and just really nice lines that I related to. We basically follow the plot of 2 teenagers who fall in love at school. The girl is sort of dealing with a past love. She's not quite over that person, and the male character is just trying so hard to love her and understand her, but she has a really hard time letting him in. And we just sort of follow them through that teen angst first love storyline. I did also watch the movie adaptation, which has Lily Reinhart in it, and I wasn't like super impressed. But honestly, are any of us bookworms ever impressed with movie adaptations?
She like is like, oh.
It still was good, like I still would recommend the movie, but I do feel like it kind of missed some of the important elements in the book. But like I said, I never have too high of an expectation for movie adaptations. I don't know if it's come out the same on camera, but it's super pretty. It's like easy to blend. The colors are super buildable. The lightest color in the palette though doesn't really show up in the inner corner. I'm gonna go over it with one from the pumpkin palette. Yeah, that's much brighter. I'm going to do my eyelashes off camera just because it takes a lot of focus. Then we'll be back to do my top book of the year and my lips. Okay guys, so we're back. We've done the lashes. The only fake lashes I can use are the magnetic ones, I am just hopeless with glue. It is time to reveal my top book of 2021, and that definitely has to be Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi. I actually read this in 2020 and I loved it so much. The characters stayed with me so much that I felt like I had to reread it last year. So I did. I reread it and I annotated my copy. It has scribbles and notes and highlights all throughout it. I just was constantly thinking about the characters and thinking about the story, and the feeling was not going away. So I was like, okay, we need to reread it. And that is basically because I just felt like my life was really at the same point.
I'm not finished.
Obviously last year we spent a lot of time in lockdown, so a lot of my communication was happening via the phone. I just really felt like this book understood all those feelings that come with that. It is also a really good book if you're someone that has like a long distance friendship or relationship. I feel like you would really relate to these characters as well. So that is why it was my number one book of the year. I'm just going to be using my Estee Lauder lip liner. This is my favorite one, my favorite color. The REM Beauty lipstick that I picked is pretty close, I think. It looks like it's a matte shade.
Well, the lipstick is a stick.
And this
And
is
the
more
gloss
of a
is in a
gloss?
little, yeah, it's a gloss.
So let's give it a go. Wow, that is so smooth. When you put it on, it just feels really hydrating, really smooth. I also love like the little magnet close on it. Like, how cute. The eyeshadow palette snaps closed too. These do feel super comfortable. It does have like a slight transfer, but that color is super pretty. Perfectly matches with the eyes. I'm pretty sure on the website as well it does show the lipsticks on different skin tones, so that is really helpful too. This is the color Roller Skate and this palette was Baby Doll. But yeah, my lips don't feel tight, like they feel moisturized. It's comfortable to talk in. I feel like the Kylie Jenner matte lipsticks that I have been wearing forever are just slightly uncomfortable to talk in.
Yeah, Kylie sent me like 2 boxes, like 3 boxes. It was so sweet.
What comes in that?
I honestly can't get over how comfortable this lipstick is. Super, super happy. I will zoom you guys in for a final look. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching and hearing about my top 5 books of 2021. Make sure you leave me a comment with what your favorite book of last year was. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you haven't already and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!